Hello, I'm Scott and you're watching Hexus TV. I've just managed to get hold of Samsung's entrance into the tablet market, the Samsung Galaxy Tab, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick run through, having played with it just for an afternoon, of what I found. So as you can see, here it is. It's basically a big Samsung Galaxy S, which I've also got here. So it's a big Android phone. As you can see, size-wise, it's sort of order of magnitude about sort of twice the size in terms of screen. And that's one of the big things that I've sort of noticed about it is very much a phone on steroids. In fact, you'll probably notice there's a little symbol here saying I haven't put a SIM card in. If we look on the side here, there is an external port to put a SIM card in and a micro SD. So in that respect, it's quite different from the device that will always be compared to, which is the Apple iPad. Otherwise, hardware-wise, I'm not going to go into the hardware too much. It's got, rather annoyingly, it's got a proprietary charging port rather than just a sort of USB or micro USB or something like that. But other than that, we've just got power, volume, a headphone jack, a microphone, not much else. It goes without saying, although this has got full phone functionality, making phone calls on it, you're going to look a little bit weird, a bit like sort of Dom Jolly. But I suppose it's got a front-facing camera and they're expecting people to do sort of video calls or something like that. Personally, I can't see a need myself. What I really want to focus on is some of the sort of apps and some of the usability of it. I must say at this stage, I got this review unit not from Samsung itself, but from a company called DivX, who make video codecs. And the reason they've got hold of these is they think it's a good exemplar for how good their quality of videos on these things. So that's what I'll start with. Having a little look, these are a couple of video clips that DivX have already put on here. There we go. And just put it into landscape here. And you can get a little, turn up the volume. I don't know how this is going to come over on the microphone. But it's got, just to tell you here, I mean obviously it's got a good screen, good resolution. The audio is not bad considering it's such a small device, although presumably most of the time people will be listening to this on headphones. And this just gives you a little bit of an idea of the quality of the video. As you can see, the sort of textures with the hair and the lighting and all that comes over quite well. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. And just like with a phone, you've got these four keys. So just get back to the home page. I press the home key here. Looking at the web, for example, I've saved a shortcut to Hexus Channel on the desktop there, and even though I haven't got a SIM card in here, I'm using the office Wi-Fi, so we can see things fine. As you can see, we can see a full page here. It's got the pinch, the multi-touch functionality there, so you can get nice and close in and click on links. And that's all absolutely fine, and obviously you can watch, just going down to the sort of video parts, you can watch flash video on this just fine. Other things that I've enjoyed on this, it's pretty good for games. So Angry Birds is one that's just come out on Android. It's a massive hit on the iPhone. It's doing really well. That tune will be familiar with anyone who's got an iPhone, I'm sure. And you can see that it's pretty much just the same as doing it on a mobile phone. So I won't go into it too much, but it seems to have scaled quite well to this larger size. One game which comes pre-installed in this, which I quite liked, you'll notice there's three sort of hard buttons or bits of navigation that are kept no matter where you go on the home screen. And central one's applications. There's one game that they pre-install called Let's Golf. I'll just show you that one quickly because I think it's quite cool. Again, this is a good animation just to show you the quality of the viewing experience and the audio experience here. You can actually tell just on the back here where the processor is, because round about here it gets a little bit warmer. Incidentally, I found the battery life to be quite adequate. I played 18 holes of this yesterday and that wasn't a problem at all. Okay, let's come out of that. There are some other little cool things for people not too familiar with Android. It's quite good for widgets. So you notice there's a widget that came pre-installed with this which tells you how many applications you've got open and gives you the option of ending them all or just ending some of them, which is quite useful because you can end up with quite a lot of apps going. Here are some other widgets that I've downloaded. So there's an Android Market one which is dynamic, shows you some of the latest stuff. This is a Yahoo stock clock. For some reason it combines a clock with share prices. And there's a YouTube widget. There's one here that I downloaded from ESPN which shows sports scores. This one's a Google Latitude one that shows where we are right now. And obviously, I mean, I haven't got my email accounts on here, but you can get email from this button here. You go on the browser like I showed you. And probably more importantly than anything else, there's full access to the Android market, and so you can get all the sort of games that you could get on your Android phone and all the apps and all that sort of thing. One other thing I wanted to do when looking at this, here's an iPad. I don't really need to turn it on. Everyone knows what the sort of iPhone, iPad look is, but this is one issue I've got with the Samsung Galaxy Tab. It's just the size. It costs about the same as this iPad. But as you can see, that's a 7-inch screen. The iPad's a 10-inch screen, but in terms of real estate, it looks more like sort of double on the iPad, which I think is an issue. This isn't really a review where I'm going to tell you whether or not to buy the device, but my feeling is that the cost of the Samsung Galaxy Tab is about the same as an iPad. It's a smaller screen. It's Android, which is a good operating system, but even Google itself has admitted is not optimized for tablets, and it feels like a sort of first effort. From what I've heard, Samsung's having trouble sort of shifting these in the volumes that they'd hoped, and I think that's not because it isn't a good device, but because right now it's still struggling to measure up to Apple, which once again has managed to sort of dictate the terms of the market. However, when future versions of Android come out, probably 3.0 come out, that will be optimized for tablets, and we've got a lot more apps and that sort of thing that are specially designed for this sort of form factor. We'll probably start to get 10-inch ones for starters, and we'll probably start to get a lot more exciting apps, so I think they'll be a lot more competitive. So on the whole, in summary from Samsung, it's a good first effort, but I can see why they're still struggling to persuade people to buy this instead of the iPad. So that's my first look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab. I'm Scott, you've been watching Hexus TV.